that I find somebody to co-host that's not a regular. This guy's a regular. Everybody knows Paul Kiker is the regular in-house financial genius. And he's going to convince us that what has happened on Wall Street this week that has just about torn us out of the frame is really just a little bump in the road.
So far, it appears that way.
I think it is. I think it is. I'm feeling really good. Feeling really good. Okay, we've got to move fast today, so we're not going to start on financial yet. You know, I have a back problem.
Oh, no.
I had a really, really bad car wreck one time, and the doctor said, as you get older, you will notice that you have a back problem. And I said, darn his hide, because every birthday I do notice that. Today we have a back specialist here.
Oh, great.
And I don't know that he could solve my problem, because I think mine now has to do with old age, because if you have back troubles and then arthritis sets in, there you go. But he is with North Georgia Medical. A lot of new doctors coming on board and a lot of specialists. So you know how we used to get in our cars and drive down the road? We don't do that anymore. We have specialists here locally.
Isn't that nice?
I think it's very important, because I don't know if y'all know it or not, but once you get down the road, it is like hostile territory. Those people are not nice. They are not friendly. They do not say, hey, y'all, just pull on out in front of me. They are jerks. You know, you just got to stay out of Atlanta.
I was in Atlanta all day yesterday, and it was
God love you.
quite interesting.
God love you. Why would a country boy like you go to Atlanta?
I've got some clients down in Buckhead I had to go see, so. That's true.
Well, we talked about Buckhead yesterday. You know, I grew up down in Morningside.
Did you really?
Oh, yeah. And I used to be a city slicker, but Lord knows I grew up and I did better. I did better for myself. I came up here where we went from Morningside to the other side, so very opposite lifestyles. But you know what we're finding out about Buckhead?
What's that?
They like to bring their money up here and spend it.
Nah, that is true.
That is true. And so we welcome Buckhead. We want y'all to come visit, and we want y'all to buy a piece of property, and we want y'all to eat at one of our many fine restaurants while you're here.
Well, I'll tell you what they recognize. I had one of my clients. I said, why did you seek me out in Jasper? He said, because all the smart people move north.
You got it.
So
you got it.
that's why all the specialists are coming up this way. You know, the really smart ones want to be up here with us.
Yeah. Okay, I've been up here 40 years this year, and some of that family I was related to will say, you're not from around here, are you? And I go, nah, not really. I tried to fit in as well as I could, but nah, I'm really not. People who come here become a part of the community, and it's very important. It's very important. This doctor, you might think he ain't our kind and he ain't from around here. He ain't got no southern accent, but he chose to come here because we have such a great, great community.
Yes.
A lot of people land here accidentally, maybe take a vacation, maybe look at some property. Can you smell these peppers?
I can't smell the peppers this morning. Can you?
I can, and I think they're going to either open my head up or kill me. I can't decide which. We want to talk about this. This is an accidental blessing. This is the last of what was in the garden at Ball Ground, and I want to share. Now, I'm an impatient gardener and an impatient grower.
That looks so good.
And if I had been down there around the garden every day, I'd have been picking them looking like this. They're more valuable looking like this.
Those
and
are some
so
good-looking peppers.
I brought this to our crew because they're going to, I think my boss is going to have his wife make homemade chow-chow, really hot chow-chow. I'm going to try a recipe that is stuffed peppers, and you slice the pepper in half, and it's not like the poppers where you roll them and stuff and grease them up and all that. We're not going to do that, no. You slice it in half and you scoop out all the seeds, and then you stuff it with cream cheese and mozzarella and bacon bits, fresh fried bacon bits. You know, don't do the canned thing, and a whole lot of garlic.
Ooh,
and we're thinking for winter that everybody needs a little bit of garlic, and then you stick it under the broiler, and there you go, an instant little appetizer.
Healthy, good for your immune system.
Absolutely.
Oh, that sounds good.
The only bad thing I see about it is the people around you will say, Lord have mercy, I wish they had not eaten quite so much garlic. But it does have a good bit of garlic in it. But I think that's going to be a cool recipe. And how pretty the peppers are. I mean, this looks like fall in North Georgia, doesn't it?
Of course, all the locals have eaten at the Pink Pig at some point in their life, so they're not too concerned about the garlic smell. We have a requirement in our family that everybody has to eat the garlic salad.
Oh my gosh. You know, we serve an amazing area. We serve an area from Cherry Log, Turtletown, Farner, Tennessee, Ducktown, McCaysville, Ball Ground. We have some really cool places.
Yes, we do.
And we have some hidden places that are little treasures you might not know about. One of my favorite places is McCaysville, Georgia. And people say, well, I went there and I couldn't find anything to do. And I'm like, smack your mouth. All you have to do is park your car in McCaysville and walk through every little shop and get to know the shopkeepers and talk to them, and then walk across the bridge and go through Copper Hill, Tennessee, and then walk your happy self back across the steel bridge, and you come right back into McCaysville, Georgia.
Yes.
Now that's a day trip. You can do it a day. You can stop and talk to every shop owner. The one thing I recommend is you go to the IGA and you buy you a few little groceries, and you maybe sit over on the river and have a snack, have something to drink, and just enjoy the calmness of that area.
Yes,
So,
and the beauty.
Oh, I get so ill when people, I went to McCaysville. You said go to McCaysville and I couldn't find nothing to do. I'm like, what are you talking about? I just go there to chill.
Did they get out of their car?
Yeah, they did. And they're like, well, I just did. And I'm like, you were looking for Macy's? There's no Macy's in Copper Hill.
No Nordstrom's either.
No. We want you to go and chill. That's what this community is about, and that's what this time of year is about.
Yes,
so we hope to encourage folks to come and visit. Now it's Apple Festival time, so we're going to cut it off at 10,000 of y'all. 10,000 of y'all is all we're going to let in here, because after 10,000, we can't hardly handle it. So it is a wild time.
Well, I like the way they've changed the traffic in about the past 7 years, because where I live is 3 miles south of the Apple Festival, and up until I guess it was 2002, you know, I couldn't get out of my driveway.
You were there.
So now they've changed the signs, and it's not so bad for me anymore.
It is amazing how those folks flock to these mountains and grab those apples. And we're going to share some apple recipes with you in the next couple of weeks, because it is truly apple time. One of the recipes we're going to share, if you want to go to my website, it's heartofthehomerecipes.com. It's called Sweet Tart Dessert, and it's apples, cream cheese, a little sugar, a little butter, a little cinnamon. And the problem being with this, when you make it, it's in a flat pan and you cut it in little square pieces. Well, you eat a little square piece and it melts in your mouth. Then you eat a second little square piece and it melts in your mouth. Then by the time you get to the third piece, you've eaten about a third of this dessert. But it is so good, and it is so simple, and it's using fresh apples.
You know, this is very hard on me. I'm on a special diet, so all morning this is the most tempting thing that I've seen all week long, because that sounds so good.
It is good, and it is so simple. And that's, you know, Southern, simple, scrumptious, that's what it's all about. So, all right, we're going to take a break. We're going to go to our sponsors. It's time to take care of business, and we're going to come back. I don't think that doctor can fix my back. I just think I'm just done. You know, it's old age, so.
Don't give up hope.
Nah, I'm not going to give up hope. But we hope that you will check out any of our local hospitals. They are bringing in specialists, and we're going to talk about that when we come back in just a second. Oh, I love this. I love shopping. I don't have to go to Macy's. I don't have to go down to Lenox. There's absolutely no reason, because Sidra, who is with us right now, just brought me some gorgeous jewelry to show. Sidra, tell me a little bit about this.
That comes from the Toccoa River Market that's going to be this Saturday. We're going to feature it every Saturday up until December 31st. It's going to be from 9 to 5.
In my favorite little town, Mccaysville, Georgia.
In McCaysville, correct.
Yes.
So we're having local artists come down and featuring homemade, handmade, homegrown products only. So farmers are welcome.
What if canned goods like jellies and peaches and pears and all kinds of things they did in their garden, or honey?
Or honey, yes.
Honey, yay.
Brought her some honey today.
Somebody make some biscuits, okay? Now, tell me a little bit. You have a shop in McCaysville, correct?
It's actually Harry Norman Realtors Starry Night Vacation Rentals is my office down there, and I'm the sister office of the Blue Ridge office.
Okay. Now, I'm not going to say your last name because I don't have a college degree, but could you tell me your last
It's
name?
McCain-Dinco.
Holy crap. My goodness.
Yes, it's a mouthful.
It is. Now, and your first name's unusual, too. Tell us a little history there.
Well, my mom, she wanted something unique. Her name is Jancy, so she came up
Now,
with...
I love your mom's name.
Yes,
That is
it's
cool.
James and Nancy put together.
Uh-huh.
So she found Sidra in a book of names in a doctor's office, nothing fancy, and it means starlight. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow. Awesome. How did you land in McCaysville?
Actually, my mom, she actually came up just like you were talking about from Florida on vacation, fell in love and bought property in the area.
Right.
And I would come and visit her from California. And so I just decided one day, you know what, I want to be somewhere else other than LA.
Yeah.
And I want to do real estate.
Y'all think about it, LA. LA, the gridlock traffic will kill you.
Oh, I know.
The
Oh, yes.
stress will kill you.
It will, it will.
Now, coming to McCaysville, do you ever see a traffic issue?
Never, never. It's wonderful.
It is.
Yes.
Now, what about real estate in McCaysville? Are you seeing some things pick up?
This has been the best year I've ever had in real
That's
estate.
awesome.
I've been here for 8
That's
years.
good.
That's awesome.
Yep.
That is incredible. And we want to hear these positive stories because so many people are still so down and out. And I said now, the beginning of the year, I said, I'm declaring this the year of recovery. And I see recovery going on, and it's like Saturday night. Brackett's flipping out, man. He's looking at that stocks and he's going, and I said, it's going to be okay.
That's
this
right.
is the year of recovery, and I'm so
Right.
glad to hear that.
Yes.
We've seen a lot of construction going on north in Blairsville and Hiawassee in that area. I really do say we are in that recovery mode.
We are, we are.
Now, you got to tell me about this because I think this is
That
just
is beautiful.
gorgeous.
Now,
this is gorgeous.
That's actually a local artist, Marie Hunter. She makes those, and she's going to be down at the market this Saturday. And so we're going to have all different types of artists: woodworkers, jewelry makers, clothing makers, purse makers, farmers. So it's going to be a nice mix of people down there. And it's
beautiful.
all along the river behind Nifty's 50s Cafe, in between the two bridges, the Steel Bridge and the Highway 5 bridge.
and there is not a more beautiful place to just sit and chill. That
I
is what I
agree.
call chillibration time. I mean, that is just the greatest chilling time. And these are just absolutely gorgeous. Now, tell me about buildings in Copper Hill and McCaysville. Is it about 90% occupancy now? Most of
That's
them?
a good question. I'm going to guess that.
I went through the other day and I saw less vacancies than I've seen in a long, long time.
Yes, it's definitely coming back. We've got lots of new stores and restaurants. We've got a new
I
deli.
noticed the New York Hotel Cafe is open
Yes,
again.
yeah, and a new deli right next to El Rio. And of course, we've got Pearly Gates.
I think
So-
I had lunch with the new deli guy, Javeley.
Yes.
Yeah, I had lunch with
It's
him
a
the
wing and a
other day.
prayer is what it's called. I
Yeah.
think that's cute.
Yeah, it is the time to showcase that community. Now, was this your idea to come up with this little marketplace?
Yeah, yes and no. It was my husband's too. Yep. So Jan O'Neill, of course, she's got the
Right.
building there, and we're going to do it with her. So it should be exciting.
It's going to be fun. Now tell us the prices of these because these are just absolutely gorgeous and what beautiful Christmas gifts.
They range anywhere from $30 on up to $95.
Okay,
So
okay. This is one, I see this one on a friend of mine. That looks like her. That is absolutely gorgeous. And this is out of copper.
yes, it is. Don't
Yes.
ask me the stone.
No, I'm looking
Yeah.
at it and it looks like fall. This just looks like a fall outfit you might wear.
Some
That's
sort of
just
jasper, I believe.
beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Now, can you give folks 2 reasons to come to McCaysville, Georgia? I can give them 500, but you being from LA, tell me if you were calling one of your friends on the phone and you wanted them to come and visit. Tell me 2 things you would tell them about the area.
It's a simple little area, but it's beautiful. It's got the river that runs through it, and it's got lots of nice shops, and the people are wonderful.
The people. I think the people are what draws me back there, and there's just the greatest community, just a great community.
agree.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you so much for being
Thank
with us.
you.
Did we cover everything we needed to?
I think so.
Awesome. All right, we're going to take a break. We're bringing the doctor on board. He's going to bring a spine with him. Are you kidding me?
I'll learn
Whose
something.
spine is it? I don't know.
That's a good question.
I don't know, and I think he's bringing a couple of patients. Maybe we need to clean this table off. We'll be back in just a minute. Thank you.
I found my thrill on Blueberry Hill. On Blueberry Hill. When I found you, almost stood still. On Blueberry Hill. And lingered until my train came. The wind and the wheel played love's sweet melody. But all of the fall we met war never to be. Nowhere apart, you for me still. For you on my sweet melody. But all of the past we met war never to be. Nowhere apart, even for me still. For you, my thrill. On Blueberry Hill. I found my thrill on Blueberry Hill. On Blueberry Hill. When I found you, almost still on Blueberry Hill. In England until my train came. The wind and the wheel played love's sweet melody. But all of the cause we met war never to be. Nowhere apart, you for me still. For you my thrill. On Blueberry Hill. The wind and the willow played love's sweet melody. But all of the past we met war never to be. Nowhere apart, even for me still. For you my thrill. On Blueberry Hill.
Okay. Hey, y'all, we're back. Surprise, surprise. I told you I could fly by the seat of my pants.
That you do well.
Well, I've got this thing sitting here right here, and I will tell y'all right quick, I had a 23 average in biology in school, and I
Did
could
you really?
never have been a doctor or a scientist or anything else that had to do with anatomy, because this is just kind of, what is this?
That looks like a spine.
Kind of looks like fish on a stick that I had up in Alaska. They dip it on a stick and drop it down in fat grease and fry it. I don't know. Dr. K, tell me about this.
This is a small model of the human being spine, basically the lower part of the spine.
So we are made up of this.
It's just a plastic, and this is modeled to explain for the patient the disease and the procedure we could do for him.
Okay, is this pretty close to where we sit down in our...
Extremely close,
Okay,
very similar.
okay. So if you have problems and you say, oh, my tailbone is hurting, is this really what we're talking about?
Exactly.
Okay, tell me about your two guests, because you brought two ladies who...
The-
Have you worked on this with them?
Absolutely. Thus, one of my lovely two patients. They've been my patient for a long period of time, and they've been dealing with disease who is about 1.5 million American complaining
Wow.
of. They call it spinal stenosis.
Okay.
That's mean narrowing in the canal or tightness in the canal where the spinal cord run through.
Okay, and is this what you're talking about, where spinal fluid goes?
This is the canal, the bone canal, and this is the cord, and the area with age is get tighter and smaller and smaller.
Okay.
So the symptom for the patient will be back pain, difficulty to stand up, difficulty to walk,
Okay.
and some leg pain. And it became with time debilitating for the patient.
Okay.
The ideal treatment initially is conservative treatment, physical therapy. Then if it didn't work, next step is to do trial of cortisone injection. We call it epidural steroid injection.
Right, I've had that, yes.
But then next step will be either live with it and suffer, or do major surgery. We call it laminectomy. That means cutting bone and changing the structure of the spine.
I'm thinking no. Now, I love this because you told me if we can get a shot of this, this is the example of the size of the incision.
Absolutely.
My
Where
Lord,
is
there's
this
no
one?
excuse to miss work when you have an incision that small, is there? Look at that tiny, tiny hole. That is amazing. Now, is this what you did to both these ladies?
Absolutely, and this is the beauty for this new procedure.
Now, I'm gonna make an observance just because I can. They're not in the same age bracket. One might be a little bit older than the other one. So is this something that happens to all age groups?
It's disease more common with elderly people.
Okay.
So the majority.
So you're
will-
unusual.
Yes.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay. Okay.
Correct. And the new procedure, we call it mild procedure. It's new in United States, but it's been already done for almost 8,000 patients in United States.
Wow.
Okay.
And the beauty about this procedure, that is outpatient procedure. It takes little time to do, and the risk is very low. And the recovery time is very quick.
Okay, we're going to show a video now, and we're going to let you talk over it because we're going to get this going, and we want you to talk about this video because downtime for these ladies was what? Were they out of work a week, a month? How long?
I will let them talk and tell the audience.
Okay.
Basically, the procedure was outpatient procedures. They stay in the hospital for 2 to 3 hours.
2 to 3 hours. Okay, now look at this video. Is this actual video of a surgery?
This is actual video of part of surgery. This will show first my guideline, and it will show you this depth. It shows the narrowing in the canal, which is produced by the hypertrophy or enlargement in the ligament in the posterior part of the canal.
Okay.
So this where you see this dip where we're gonna work during surgery.
Oh my gosh, yes, we see that.
Wow.
And this is model for the patient laying down on the table. And this is small hole where we're gonna put our instrument. Of course, during
Wow.
the time the patient will be sleepy or just conscious sedation. The area will be numb, and we'll insert small instrument to the
Wow.
posterior part of the spine.
So it really is the size of about not quite a pencil. A number 2 lead pencil is about that size.
2 to 3 millimeters.
Amazing, amazing. Now, why did you specialize in this? Why did you choose this field?
It's interesting. I was anesthesiologist during my training at Baylor College of Medicine in Houston. I got introduced to the field of pain management during one of my rotation, and
Right.
I loved the specialty because it makes the patient feel better and
Right.
improves the quality of life. And
Right.
there's a lot of patients suffer from pain for a long period of time.
Right. Okay, now we're going to ask the ladies, I want you to tell me, would you do it again, and did you get the relief you were looking for? First of all, you, and tell me your name.
Joann McCord.
Okay. Now tell me, did you get what you were looking for, and was the recovery as easy as it looks?
Yes, it was.
And time down, seriously, just a few hours in the hospital?
Yes,
That is amazing. How long had you been suffering from back pain?
probably about 3 years.
Okay. What took you so long to go to the doctor and get it fixed? Did you just give up?
No, I got to where I couldn't walk.
See?
I couldn't go anymore.
Yeah, and you're finally looking for an answer. Now, what about you?
I have had it about 6 years, and I was referred to Dr. Kabakibou, and he was treating me. And when he came up with this new procedure, he discussed it with me. And I said, I hurt so bad, and I said, yes. Then went home and worried about it. Wasn't anything to it. I went in the hospital. I forgot I was going to have surgery. I woke up in the recovery room. I walked out and I went to go shopping, and my daughter wouldn't let me. I have been walking ever since. I haven't slowed down. I've been going full speed. I am happy. I can live. I don't just exist every day. I live every day now.
That is so amazing, because so many people have suffered and lived with, and that's the thing you can share. They have lived with it because they're like, there is no answer.
I was in a
quite possibly
wheelchair.
there is.
Some of the time I was in a wheelchair. Some of the time I used a walker, and sometimes I was able to use a cane.
Wow.
I don't use any of them now.
That is amazing.
I'm so happy. Dr. Kabakibou is going to be proud of me.
Now, is this an immediate reaction, like both these ladies, immediately will they see a difference?
It's really very quick. And I was amazed with the procedure when we started doing it. I was a little bit apprehensive to see what's the outcome. And I was really impressed with the quick outcome and the quick recovery.
Right.
And that's why I was really enthusiastic to bring it to the community.
Wow. Okay, now, how did you find him? Did somebody refer
My
you
doctor
to him?
referred me to him.
All right, and how did you find Ella J? Did you get lost one day in the mountains?
Well, that's a good question. This is almost 11 years ago. One of the oncologists who come to the area for a long period of time, Dr. Whaley, introduced me to this town and said to me, come and visit LAJ. And I've been here since 1999.
We tell people they need to have a really good heart surgeon in LJ, because every time you visit LJ, you leave a piece of your heart. So eventually, when you go back to Buckhead, your heart's here, and you might need to get it reinstalled. So it is a place that is addictive. Now, does your family come here and visit?
Absolutely.
Good.
And we're looking for secondary home to come over the weekend.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, and let's talk a little bit about the hospital that supports you, because North Georgia Medical is an amazing place.
Absolutely. It's a great community hospital. They've been trying hard to serve the community despite all the economic pressure right now.
Right.
And we're proud to announce that we're going to open in North Georgia Medical Center a new building as an outpatient specialty clinic. I hope all the patients will enjoy it. It would be on Industrial Boulevard.
Right. And y'all, I told y'all before he came on, my granny'd say he ain't our kind. Well, it's because he's from Turkey. But you brought your talent. Now, you were trained in Houston.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And do you think you'll stay with us long enough that you might pick up a little Southern accent?
I'm trying.
Good. You keep trying. You keep trying. You keep trying. It is so nice to have you here, and we're glad that you chose LJ, because as someone who suffered from back pain, I went through everything. I did experimental drugs. I did experimental procedures. I had, when you were talking about the epidural, I had like 12 of those. I mean, I tried everything, and I tell people, I don't know if you believe in God or not, but I truly believe that God healed me. Because finally, I was able to live with the pain, and now I forget about it. And I laugh about this. Dr. Rebecca Ray used to fuss at me because I would pick up my pocketbook, and she'd say, don't carry anything that heavy, and my pocketbook weighs like 40 pounds, you know, and she's like, don't do that. But today, I would say this is a quick fix. People don't have to suffer and don't have to go through the pain that many of us did for years and years and years. So that is amazing. Okay, now tell us where your office is and give us your phone number.
My main office in Atlanta, but I come to here 1 day a week on Thursday at North Georgia Medical Center. If you like any appointment, you call the specialty clinic at 706-603-635-5111.
There you go. There you go. Thank you, ladies, for being here. And congratulations from a wheelchair to walking around shopping. That is pretty cool.
I'm 84 years old. I got
Oh, no way.
10 more years of living to do because of him.
Oh,
I'm so happy.
That is
I
amazing.
want to get out here and dance for y'all, but I don't know how.
Thank you so much, both of you, for being here. That's amazing, and I hope other people who have suffered.
I feel great. Just
84
great.
years old. Are you
I would have
kidding
never
me?
guessed that.
He is a great doctor. Great doctor.
Wow.
Such a good doctor. I would recommend it to anybody.
That is
I'd go
incredible.
have it done today if he wanted to go do it again.
Wow. Thank you all for being here today.
Thank you
We're
all
gonna
for
take
having
a break,
us.
and when we come back, it's money time. Oh my gosh, it's money management time. But I have to say a very, very, very special happy birthday to my friend, my buddy, a man that he's an amazing mentor and family man, an amazing, kind Christian, Mr. A.C. Kaler. Nobody in this community any better, any finer, any sweeter than Mr. A.C. Kaler. Happy birthday to you, and I hope Miss Linda makes you one of those cakes that I just love, that you just pour the chocolate on top. Oh, my Lord, it's so good. So,
You're
Miss
killing
Linda,
me.
if you make him one, bring me a piece. There you go. Happy birthday to you, A.C. We love you. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk money, honey. Oh, it is time. Money, honey, Paul. We'll be back in just a second.
He came unto his own received him not. The word inside a body, the lamb without a spot. He tried and tried to tell them. He said, I am the way, but they couldn't understand how that he could say, I am the Son of God, I am the vine, I am the good shepherd, and I know it's your mind. I am the light, with you I will be. When they ask if he was Jesus, he said, I am he. He is I am, he is I am, he is I am, but I am nothing without him. Moses on the mountain questioned God the same. Who shall I say sent me? What is your name? He said, go tell them I am sent you. You know that I be with you, and I'll show you what to do. He is I am, he is I am, he is I am, but I am nothing without him. He is the resurrection, he is the way. He said that I'll be with you, and he still is today. He is I am, he is I am, he is I am, but I am nothing without him. He is I am.
Money, honey.
Money.
It's that time.
That's on everybody's mind.
Oh my gosh, and we have to say, speaking of money, Steve Jobs passed away yesterday.
Yes.
Nobody in my lifetime, in your lifetime, anybody will ever influence the world like
Right.
he did. I have an iPhone now, and it took an act of Congress to get me there. The one thing I'm not so sure about this iPhone, I can check stocks every day, all day long.
That's the
Thank
bad
you,
part of
Steve
it.
Jobs, and
Right.
darn it, Steve Jobs, you know, because he created something that changed the world.
Yes.
You
yes.
know, and it being that we have stocks right at our fingertip, it's amazing. He was an amazing, incredible very, very smart man who started in his garage. And you tell people they can start with as little as $100.
Yes, they
and
sure
start
can.
investing.
They sure can. You know, the great thing about Jobs is he walked a different path. I mean, he really did. He was an innovator. He used every bit of his intellectual capacity. And that's what we need to do as entrepreneurs and individuals, is look to the future and say, I can't change yesterday, but there's a lot I can do about tomorrow.
Right.
And just think about the impact that was made. I mean, I can't imagine not having an iPhone now. And, you know, in the early just 15 years ago, we would have
Absolutely.
never imagined that we would have had so much power at our
iPhone,
fingertips.
iPad, iPod, I mean, you name it. He revolutionized the world. We
Yes.
will never be the same. So
Yes.
thank you to
Yes.
him. And you know, I don't know of anybody who could step up and do what he's done. It's going to be some shoes that possibly will never be filled. So.
Well, what's unique is the leadership ability. You know, the company that he was able to build through leadership and a visionary outlook. And that's
Right.
one of the things that we're very void of in the world right now. And hopefully we'll have some of these pure-hearted leaders rise up and innovate both politically and economically from
You
this
know,
point
it's funny
forward.
when you look at the old pictures of him, he looks like a college geek. Yeah, and you're like, what does he think? You know, what does he think? My gosh, he changed the whole world.
That's exactly right.
He changed the world. And you and I talked before we came on the air about service. Now,
Yes.
my idea is if you work in a service industry, and I can say this because I've been a waitress. I was a great waitress. I was an absolutely great waitress because I knew that it was important to do a good job to make the kind of money I wanted to make.
Yes.
And that's the key to this. I wanted to be successful. So in order to be successful, I had to be a really, really good waitress.
Yes.
And then at the end of the night, I'm counting my tips, and by George, they were good because I had done a good job.
Yes.
Many people show up for jobs today that hate their work. Now, have you seen Medea's Big Happy Family? Where she drives through the drive-thru at a fast food restaurant because the
Oh.
little twit is not doing her job, taking her order and waiting on her?
No, I haven't seen that.
Okay, you need to see it because if you work in the food service industry, if you work pumping gas, if you work shoveling manure, anything you do, be happy with it or be gone with it. You know, don't do it if you don't enjoy it. You
Right.
enjoy stocks. Joe Kelly enjoys
Right.
stocks. Choose something you want to do. I saw Calvin Rowland's new commercial, and he encourages kids, if you have a tobacco habit, kick the habit, invest as little as $4.50 a day. And that is the thing. Y'all love what you do.
Yes.
I love what I do.
Yes.
But make it apparent that you do love it. Don't show up at work and go, hey, how are you doing? It's so good to see you. Be
Yes.
happy about it. And when the stock market does like it did last weekend, get over it and move on because it's going to get better.
Well, it is going to get
It's
better.
going to get better.
You know, and back to that, talking about what you do, what you enjoy. I've always been taught it doesn't matter what you do if you enjoy it, then you can be good at it if you put everything, all your heart into it. And I tell when I go talk to schools, you know, kids, don't choose a profession for the money. Choose what makes you come alive, and the money will take care of itself. Because I know Calvin can attest, and I can attest, I really wish I had a degree in psychology because people are so scared right
Oh, yeah,
now.
absolutely.
And even though there's different strategies that you employ, we know what we're doing. We don't have a crystal ball, but you know, our
On
jobs,
Monday, were you nervous?
frustrated. Not so much nervous as frustrated.
Yeah.
We had a couple things transpire Monday that tells us that we need to take a step back and just let the dust settle a little bit, but it could have also been an emotional sell-off. There's a couple of really important issues there.
That's scary because people panic sell.
Right.
And I said, as long as you don't sell, you really haven't lost money because it will come back.
Right.
So don't panic sell. And that's
Right.
the thing. I was a panic seller. You know, I'm like, I'm, you know, perfect example. I had Home Depot stock. It started losing money. I sold it, came back up. Certainly I would.
Right.
You know, panic seller. Don't do that.
Well, one of the things, you know, what happened on Monday was a very critical day based on a risk management strategy because we actually broke a support level. Now, I'll give you a clear example. I had a client who needed some money about a year ago, and Regions Bank broke a critical support level, so we sold the stock at $6. 6 months later, it was up to nearly $7 a share, and the client was very concerned, you know, because they needed every penny that they could get.
Right.
But as I explained to them, we had a critical level of support that was broken, and today the stock's $3. Okay. Now I held on to their belt buckle to keep them from running back to buy it back, but
Right.
we didn't have that happen on Monday. Now, that doesn't mean that the market's going to go down 15 to 20% from now, but it increases the likelihood that the next 2 to 3 weeks could be, challenging. The one thing that I will say, and I can tell investors this, I was watching a commercial this morning on why you should buy nothing but municipal bonds, or why you should
I saw that commercial. Yeah.
why you should buy this product or that product. The same analysis that I used in 2007 to warn our clients about bank stocks and a concern for a downturn is there in the bond market. I believe there's a lot more value on any downturn in dividend-paying stocks than there are in government bonds or municipal bonds, because that's the next big bubble that's going to pop. I don't know if it's 12 months from now or 24 months from now, but most investors don't know how dangerous bonds can be when rates start going up. I mean, my goodness, right now we're looking at a 30-year government bond paying less than 3%, and 10-year bonds paying less than 1.5%. So, you really need to find someone like myself or Calvin who can teach you how to stay diversified and walk you through this. The most important thing is...
And I love when you said hold on by the belt loop. I mean, some people do, and I was one of those. I needed somebody to hold on, and I wasn't smart enough to ask for help. That is one of the things, that's the greatest advice you can give.
Yeah.
Because don't look at it every day. Number one, although I do look at that iPhone 40 times a day to see what stocks are doing, which is so stupid. But don't panic. Don't panic, just write it out.
Well, and here's another reason. It's like I made a couple of calls to my clients because we were actually positive for the year at the end of August by about 2.5%, and then went down to about 2 to 3% down. Now, compared to the market was down 12% at the end of the month, so we'd done a lot better. But, what I explain to clients is when you open that statement, you expect to see it go higher.
Right.
So emotionally, you're not charged. You check it off. I expected to have that happen.
Right.
When you open that statement and your account is down, the emotional impact, that's not what you expected. The emotional impact is 5 times what it was in open it. So you may end the year positive, but the volatility in the market impacts you dramatically more on the downturn than it does on the upside. So, you can have a client who will look at their statement at the first of the year, they look at the end of the year, and if it's down, oh, that stinks. They had one bad impact. If it's up, that's good. So you have 10 of those events. 2 out of every 10 years, the market's going to be down. 8 every 10 years, it's going to be up on average. Don't hold me to the exact specifics.
Right.
But you're much better to not look at it on a regular basis. And this is the important part, and this is what I explain to people. If your strategy is to buy and hope, then you better stick to that strategy, because buy and hope works over a long period of time. Okay, from 1980 till the year 2007, as long as you had good, decent stocks and you had analysis and you bought them, they went straight up. If you bought in the year 1998 till today, the market's down. It doesn't mean that strategy doesn't work forever. It just means that it's a tough period of cycle. It doesn't matter what you do, everything struggles because there are no crystal balls. So what you need to do is you need to call your advisor. And if they can explain to you why they do what they do, then you need to trust them, okay? Especially if they're not trying to sell you a product. What bothers me is I'm seeing a lot of people selling these products right now. Well, it'll guarantee you this, it'll guarantee you that, it'll guarantee you this. I can sell anything that's out there. But there are very few of these products with guarantees that I put clients into because they don't benefit you as much as they do the person selling them or the insurance company. They may sound great, but what happens more often than not, if it sounds too good to be true,
It's
most
not
of the time
true.
it is.
Yeah.
So you got to look at these as tools. But you got to stick to that plan. If you're doing it yourself, you have to stick to your plan and not make emotional decisions. If you have an advisor like myself, getting scared is okay, all right? But call me. I can tell you exactly why we did what we did, and I can tell you exactly what we're going to do if certain things happen. If you're working with Calvin, Calvin's a great man. He's got a strategy. You call him up. If that strategy makes sense, then you stick with it because that's what you've got to do. You either have to trust the people that you're working with and let them guide you through this, or you take over the reins yourself if you're capable. But the one thing I can say is we have a very unique area, okay? I am very critical of other advisors because I know the commissions that are paid and the things that take place on the backside. And I know how you can tell half-truths in this business to take advantage of people's emotions. There are people in this area that you can trust, and that their number one focus is to take care of you and interview them, talk them through, but they can lead you through this. You know, as I tell clients, I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but I can get you through it. I can't promise you that we're going to beat the market in the next 6 months, but what I can tell you is if the market goes down 50%, our clients aren't going to get caught up in that. What we're going to be doing is turning around and buying whenever the market hits that bottom, because it's about the long journey.
Exactly.
You know, I have clients that are 64 that tell me, well, I don't have time. Well, if we're driving to the beach and we get stuck in Atlanta traffic, you know, it's frustrating, right? I don't like traffic. I mean, I was driving from Atlanta home the other day, and I hit every red light from Jasper home. Now, I have never done that.
That's funny.
And I needed to be home, and I was furious to the point that I thought about running the red lights. And then I got to thinking, to myself,
Policeman,
okay,
you did not hear that.
yeah. I thought about stopping, looking both ways and going, you know, but I didn't.
Yeah.
But it's like the Lord showed me something in that, okay? Economically, that's where we're in. It's very frustrating, but if you know how to read the road signs and you got to stop because it's the right thing to do. It's your strategy.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm not going to get out of my car and park it on the side and start walking to
Right.
Ellijay just because of the fact that I hit a
got
red light. But
yeah.
investors do that
Yeah.
so often. They go, oh my gosh, I'm not getting my journey fast enough, so I'm going to give up completely the ability to go 60 miles an hour, and I'm going to start walking at a 1% CD.
That's funny.
Now, okay, a CD is appropriate for a part of your financial plan. The worst thing you can do is take all of your money and put it into the market, because if you have an emergency,
Right.
the good thing about a CD is you pin that number to the wall. The bad thing is if you retired 20 years ago and you had 100% of your investments in a CD, you were getting 7%, and today you're getting 1 1/4. Okay, that's much more devastating than what the market has been over that period of time. So,
See, I tried explaining that to somebody. I'm glad you hit on that, because I have a somebody who has several $1,000s in the bank in a CD at a little over 1. And I kept saying, look, you need to give it to Paul Kiker. And oh, no, my brother did that. No, I'm scared to, I'm scared. And I'm like, I would be scared not to, because
Right.
she's kind of in my age bracket, and I would be afraid not to do that.
Right.
Because at 1%, you're not going to make any money. I'm sorry, but
Right.
you're not going to make, your money is going to be sitting there, and it's going to be safe, and you know it's there. So that's a great thing. If
Right.
you're happy with not making any money.
Yes.
If you just wanted to put your money in the bank and let it draw 1%, I had CDs at 13 3/4. Do you know how much money that is?
a tremendous amount.
Oh my Lord! That we won't see that again. But when
Right.
we saw that, I
We
also
will,
walked
believe
in
it or not,
Jasper
we will.
Bank. Hush now, I don't want to hear them words. I walked in Jasper Bank and had to borrow $10,000 at 21.5% interest.
Right.
I don't want to ever do that again. I like interest rates below 10. As far as borrowing money, because as a business owner, you have to borrow money to exist. I don't like when the CDs got down. We've seen some at 0.85%. Seriously. And how can you possibly look at that and say, I am growing wealth at 1%?
You're not, and it may feel great, but quite frankly, it is exactly like taking a journey to the beach. You know, we expect to drive 65 miles an hour, and it should take us 7 hours. Well, if there's a catastrophic wreck in Atlanta because some idiot ran a red light or cut somebody off, okay? Some idiot would have done like me. I'll have to tell you a story if we've got time. I got a ticket for running a red light one time, and my wife was right.
Oh, that's funny.
And the cop laughed all the way to the ticket.
Right,
So
the
anyway,
ticket, yeah.
So anyway, it's like getting stuck in Atlanta traffic. Now, it's very frustrating, okay? You expected to be there on time. So, you know, but in investing, people don't know the road signs. They don't understand it because they're being sold products. The news that they're told is trying to move products. And it's rare that they have somebody like myself or Calvin or a few of the others in the area who really care about helping them get there.
Right.
You know, as I tell clients,
I love your analogy. You have to see these people in the grocery store.
yeah,
And we can ram him with
Yeah.
the buggy if we're not happy with what you're doing.
yeah. Hey, I'll tell you this much. If I didn't enjoy helping lead people through times like this, I would have accepted the many offers I've had to buy the business and thrown the towel up. Because I'll tell you, there's many, this year has been frustrating. It's frustrating economically. The news media is frustrating. It breaks my heart to see, you know, people being capitalized on their fear and sold a product that gives you a guarantee, but
So many people
gives
are
the
scared.
advisor a 10%
So many
commission.
people are scared.
You know? And that's emotionally, we have a hard time trusting people. We have a hard time believing that somebody is really looking out for us. And that's why you have to have a conversation and sit down with them. There's no crystal ball, but there are strategies and plans. And as I tell people, you know, my strategy, I know how to read the road signs in the market. And the reason the red light analogy is so good is, you know, when I was coming home, I was in a hurry. This car beside me had been riding my bumper all the way up to Jasper. Okay, now you get into Jasper, you're going to get a ticket if you speed. So I slow down, and they're right on my bumper. And y'all, I'm very competitive, so this just drives me absolutely insane. So we come up to the red light there at the hospital, and it turns yellow, and I'm thinking, can I make it? Can I make it? And I was like, no, I'm not going to take the chance. So I slow down. This person whips out and runs right through the middle of the red light, and it just upset me to no end. Well, two types of investing. Okay, if you're oblivious to red lights and you run them all day long, okay, or if you're not going to stop at red lights, which is the buy and hold investing type, then don't be upset if you get slowed down because of a wreck of some sort. An active risk management strategy, which like I operate, was frustrating because I watched that car go by. But if that car gets T-boned at the next intersection, I'm
Or
going to
gets
go
a
right.
ticket.
I'm going to go right past them.
Yeah.
So there are styles out there that can manage risk, and if that's what you're really concerned about, you've got to understand it's not a crystal ball, but it works over time. And any strategy that you choose is going to underperform. More importantly, your advisor needs to tell you, this is why you own that investment. I sold Europe and international back in February. As of May of this year, our clients had no exposure to international stocks at all. I didn't know why at the time, but what we could see is undercurrents taking place. I know why I sold it, and I can tell my clients why I sold it. And as of today, we can see that somebody knew something was coming up with Greece, and it was a bad place to be. Okay, so the important thing is you know, if you're scared, that's okay. That happens. As I tell clients, that's okay. But I can tell you why we did what we did, and your advisor should be able to tell you why you do what you do. If they can't, you need to find somebody else.
Well, I see, and we can't talk politics but about 2 seconds, but I see a new world happening next year. I think we're going to recover, but I've got some birthdays we got to do, or I'm going to be in so much trouble. Happy birthday, his 60th birthday on October the 8th to Jerry Sanford, who watches from Dawsonville, and that's from his sister-in-law, Sue Taylor, and to Bill Davis on October the 6th. Happy birthday to you, and to Larry Mullinax on October the 6th. Happy birthday to you. And we have a couple of prayer requests. Mitzi Pack has cancer and has had a really rough week. Please remember her. And prayer request, Cheryl Wilson's mother passed away. Please remember her. That is what we do. We try to encourage you. We try to lift you up. We try to make you look at today as a gift from God. And it is very important that we take care of what we have been given. I walk in here some days, y'all would have cracked up if you'd have seen me coming down the hall today. I've been on the phone all the way up here with the driver with a little issue here, a little issue there. And I'm thinking, I can let this turn my day into a sour mood, or I can just be grinning and bearing it. And that is what it's all about. You know, if that stock market took a little tiny dip, just leave it alone. We'll be fine. I see some really great things happening.
I want to tell you, we're getting ready to see some of the greatest opportunity in our lives. And I'm so excited right now because there is more opportunity than people can possibly comprehend because nobody sees it. The problem is money's hard to get right now.
We got 30 seconds.
As soon as the money comes, last thing I want to say.
Okay.
Don't work with somebody who's going to tell you what you need to hear, what you want to hear,
Right.
okay? Work with somebody
Absolutely.
who's going to tell you what you need to hear.
Absolutely.
And will take the risk to lead you. If they're telling you what you want, you need to run from them because they're serving their own needs.
That's it. Now, we've got to serve our needs, and we have to do something I never do. I never say goodbye. I say I'll see you later. From North Georgia Now Today, I'm Sherry, and my buddy Rich is going to be over here shortly. Don't forget, Rich Scott every day, Monday through Friday, right here on ETC3. What's your name?
I'm Paul Kiker.
This is Paul Kiker.
I get called Kicker every
This
now
is
and
Paul Kiker, and he's here once a month. And be sure and tune in. If you need advice, financial advice, call Calvin, call Paul, call anybody else who you can trust with your money. It's your money. We'll be back, as always, only on ETC3.
Out on his old porch swing, said he was in the war, went in the Navy, lost his wife and lost his baby. I broke down and asked him one time, sir, how